can level mountains with my hands. Yes, and I can. I am Nten Matilda. I am a senior guidance counselor working in GBHS in Balangong, Yaoundé. I am a psychosocial analyst, a peace advocate, a columnist with the Guardian Post newspaper, and the founding president, chief executive officer of a civil society organization, Wellness Awareness Center.
Okay. So, Madam Matilda, I would like you to tell us your own story. How did you grow up? Were you born with a golden spoon in your hand?
Unfortunately, I wasn't born with a golden spoon. I wasn't born into a great family, but I resolved that a great family must come from me. So I grew up in a large family size with average income, a family of 9 surviving children with, I can say, average income for the family. So it wasn't really easy on us. My educational path has not been a smooth one. I had to struggle at every stage because my father was a private primary school teacher, and he was the only income earner in the family. My mom was just a housewife. So, well, sincerely, I don't know, but it was really rough because I remember when I was about to go to Form 1, there was no financial means for me to go to school. I only had to go to school, probably that was October, ending October, when schools had resumed for over 2 months because there was no money to register me. I remember that fateful day. I went to school and I met the principal, Madam Chindo Selin. She asked me why I was coming to school. That late, I was coming to register late, and I just burst into tears. And then fortunately, I was admitted. I struggled and I succeeded right up to Form 5. And in Form 5, it became really, really difficult again. I remember when it was time for GCE registration, I had neither paid my fee or was able to register. So at the end of the day, the school administration had already piqued interest in my story, how determined I was to push through my education, though with the challenges. So they allowed me, they permitted me to register my GCE even before coming back to pay my tuition fee. Yes, so I did, and that year, unfortunately, I did not make it.
Okay.
Yes, and I did not give up. So I kept on.
Actually, you wrote the GCE Form 5 and you didn't make it?
Yes, that was in 2002. I didn't make it.
And how did it feel like? Was it that easy to take? Sometimes they say it was a bitter pill. Was it equally a bitter pill?
Yes, exactly. It was a bitter pill because that fateful morning, my parents actually mistook somebody's success for mine.
Ah.
Yes, the names were similar, so everybody was very happy. And when the letter learned I had not made it, they were really disappointed, and that affected me a lot. But then I took it upon myself to make them proud. I remember I promised them, I made a promise to my parents that I am going to be the light in this family. So they encouraged me, and then I continued. And in lower seat, it wasn't really easy because I did not have textbooks. You know how it is in the high school. I didn't really have textbooks. I would have to beg from my friends. I would have to struggle, you know. And in upper seat, it wasn't easy again. But then I registered, failed again. Yeah, so I failed again. And my parents never gave up on me. I never gave up on myself. But at each stage, I had to encourage them. During the holidays, I would sell my granules, I would sell mangoes, I would sell pears. Sometimes I would prepare myself, I would buy my books, I would buy my school shoe, and then they'll just have to pay tuition fee. Let me take you a little bit back. In Form 1, when I went to Form 1 in October, it wasn't with a brand new uniform. I bought a second-handed the dark blue skirt
Yeah.
that looked like that of the GBHS Fundong school skirt for 400 francs.
Yeah.
And then I had to beg a jacket.
Okay.
That is how I kick-started my secondary school journey. And then in Form 3, I had to copy a textbook with my hand, like God. I cannot forget it in our house.
Copied it.
Yes, I did copy that textbook with my hand because I was very ready,
Okay.
no matter the challenges. Yes, so when I finally wrote the advanced level for the second time, fortunately I made it. But then nobody could ever believe that I would go to the university.
Okay.
Nobody expected that. But I walked up to my dad and I told him that no, I really want to go to the university. So what he asked me is, how were you going to survive? I said the same way I survived all these years, I am going to survive in Yaoundé. He reminded me that it was a strange land. And I told him that I equally reminded him that my elder sister was here in Yaoundé and she was doing her petty businesses. And I knew I could like lean on her to survive. And actually that is what happened, because when I went to the university, like I wasn't really like going to the university like other people will go, because in the morning I will go and sell my fufu corn and kati. If I have transport for that day, I go. If I have money just enough for my hand out, I will then go to school the next day. And most of my notes in the university, trust me, they are there. I copied with hand. I remember there was a whole booklet on sociology.
Yeah.
Yes, that was given out for students to photocopy or to buy, and I was not able. I
How
copied
much
it
was the
again.
cost?
That was 3,500 francs.
Okay.
I copied it with my hand. So it was more like my friends buying the handouts, Matilda copying in their house.
Okay.
Buying the handouts, Matilda copying in the house. When I am not able to copy in the house, I will beg the day that they are not using, and then I'll have to spend a whole night in the, that there was a reading, a library.
The library.
Yes, in school, and there was another one around in the Catholic church premises, so we used to go and spend the whole night there. Sometimes you even go and read in the council vicinity throughout the night. There were a good number of students suffering like me too. Yes, so it wasn't really easy, but at the end of the day, I came out 3 years after I had my degree in law, common law.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I would like us to go back to that very story. You wrote your ordinary level and you failed.
Yes.
Advanced level you failed.
Yes.
How did the society see you? Did some call you?
Ooh, yes, thank you for asking that question. Yes, when I failed in Form 5, the society, like, there were many people that went to my father and said he was wasting his money on the girl child. Because the tendency was my elder sister did not go. She ended in Form 3. The two other elder sisters did not even try the secondary school at all. So they were like, oh, she should go and marry, she should go and this, she should go and that. And when my dad sat me for a talk, I was like, no, hey, it's my education I want to pursue. I'm going, I'll go. I failed now, I will not fail next year. I will not fail next year, but the society was not really nice. They were not kind to me at all. But that didn't stop me. It even became worse in opposite.
Okay.
There is no insult I did not receive, because in opposite, I had an opportunity, like, and I was living in one man's house who helped me with the room since the distance was really far. I actually forgot to tell you that I was living, for those who know what I was from Form 1 to Form 5, I was leaving every morning to Alim and back.
Okay.
With a good number of others. Yes, I was leaving every morning to Alim and back, so it wasn't easy. So in opposite, one man I helped in the hospital, like, gave me a room in his house, and the society thought I was there. At that time, I was already at my puberty stage, so they were telling my parents that I am not going to school, I'm running after boys, I am this, I am that. So when I failed, they told my dad that I have told you that this child was not going to school. It is needless sending her to school and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, in September, I just presented my books and my everything to my dad, and I said, I am going back to school. And I did. And then, actually, let me remind myself of something that happened, because when I told my dad I was going to to school, to the university. Like, he was surprised. How can she ever think of going to the university? He said, no, go and do grade 1, teachers, grade 1. And I was like, but I don't want to end my education here. Because at that moment, I had already figured out that I would be a guidance counselor. Okay. Why did I figure out that I would be a guidance counselor? That's because in Form 4, in Form 4, I was running away from mathematics classes. And after my GCE advanced ordinary levels, I wanted to read economics, but maths now was a stumbling, the lack of maths was a stumbling block, and then I started telling myself that, but I have already missed it. I said, who can guide me? That was when I was introduced to a school guidance counselor, who guided me, and though at that time I could not turn back the hands of time, but I just chose a different series. And then in opposites, yes, that is my past. I was involved in the school strike. Okay. Yes, I was involved in the school strike, which affected me a lot. It really did. So I resolved to become a guidance counselor so I can help proceeding generations not to make the same errors that I had made in my academic journey. And there was something that happened when I told my dad that I was going to the university. There is this uncle of mine, he was a teacher. He actually guided me when, for the first year, I never had English language. He advised that I should focus on English language because no university will admit me without a language. I never had French or English. So the next year I had all. But when I said I was going to the university, some people went to my dad and told him that I was going there to do prostitution. Yes, my dad was actually convinced by that, and he tried to discourage me. But I thank God for my mom, because she stood the grounds and said the same prostitution she did in Fundong, and today she is an advanced level holder. She will go to Yaoundé and she will bring back a degree. So, and it actually did happen that after 3 years I had my degree. So,
that many in certain communities, you are a girl child, at least maybe when she becomes of age, the only thing she should do is to go and marry.
That is actually one of the problems one of the major challenges that I faced when I became of age, because I kind of realized that there were people that would go straight to my parents to ask for my hand in marriage, You'll just sit and your father or your mother will call you and say, oh, these people were here, they want to marry you, and blah, 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 blah. And with the notion that my father was wasting his money sending a girl child to school that would just complete and then come and marry, and the man would be enjoying the proceeds of his labor, I stood my grounds. I wasn't disrespectful to my parents. I wasn't disrespectful to the community, to the people who thought they were really giving me the right advice. I wasn't rude to them. I just put it straight to them that I have an ambition, and that ambition can only be achieved by going to a certain level of, by attaining a certain level of education. So if I have to speak to the girl child in that community where they believe the girl child is useless, believe me, there is no development, real development. Like when they say a community or a country is really developed, look keenly, you will see the involvement of women. Yes, because everything a woman does, she does it with passion and determination. Do you know why we do it with passion and determination? It is because the society has made us, imprisoned us to the impression that we are useless. So once we get involved in anything, we give in our best to prove a point. Yes. So my advice to the girl child in that community, let me first of all address the parents of the parents who believe that the girl child's, the woman's place is in the kitchen. Please, the highest investment any family can ever invest is investing in the girl child. Because when the girl child succeeds, the first person she thinks of is her family. And if you look keenly in our society today, the only responsibility that women have is their family. Okay. Yes, because normally nature has made it that the man is always the head and the leader in each family. So even when I marry, I will have little or nothing to do in my husband's house. My husband will do everything, take care of me. What will I be doing with my money? I'll obviously get back to my parents. look keenly even in our generation today, you will see that women do take care of their families more than the men do in some cases, not a general assertion per se, yes. So, and to you, the girl child whose parents think her place is in the kitchen, you don't have to be disrespectful, you don't have to be arrogant, you just have to to strategize on how to push your ideas through to your family, to your parents. You have to make them understand. Sometimes come out with a vision. Yes, you have to come out with a vision and mission. Yes, this is actually what I have identified in the society, and I actually want to be part of the change. Yes, I would like to be part of the change, and this is how. Because most often, parents do not say that because they think the girl child is actually useless. Sometimes they just chose to prioritize the men. Yes, thereby undermining the capabilities of the girl child. So you don't have to be disrespectful, but you can actually strategize, be very strategic in pushing your ideas and your vision through for your parents to accompany you. Believe me, anything you do with the blessings of your parents is always very successful. Okay. Yes, I remember when I presented this vision to my parents, they were like, how do you intend to do it now? How do you intend to do it? I was like, let me first of all start. Because once I start, I know I just need your blessings. Once you bless me, God will show the way. So, and today, we
now,
have...
Let's talk about that, your vision.
Okay.
Yeah, so tell us about your vision.
All right. My vision is actually to drive positive change in the society in general. Let me not even limit myself to the communities, because I kind of identified a problem, which is that of lack of awareness. Yes, because I realized that most of our world problems today is because of lack of awareness. Awareness about self, that is self-awareness. Awareness about situations around you, and awareness about environment. People kind of have problems or get themselves involved in problems because they really do not understand sometimes themselves, their personalities and others. They don't understand situations. It's difficult for somebody to be able to really analyze a surrounding situation and then respond or react to it positively in a way that will not injure others. And environment is very difficult. Like, I realize that people are really facing challenges understanding different environments. You know, I'm talking about concepts. Yes, because if something is applicable here in this context, in this house, let me just take this, it might not be accepted in the next environment. And until you understand that everything is done based on the context in which you find yourself, you will always get yourself into problems. And here I'm talking about mental health problems. Yes, aside the physical problems, there are mental health problems that people are neglecting. And mostly, mental health problems are caused by lack of awareness. Yes, because if you know that, okay, in this particular community, this is how the people behave, and you go there and they behave like that towards you, the way you react or respond to that situation will be different than when you are totally ignorant. Yes, values vary, values and principles vary with situations, vary with environments. So I had to set out, I had to catch up and get set for this awareness journey.
Now, talk about the different programs you've carried out in a bid to create awareness in different communities across Cameroon. What have you done so far?
All right. Identifying a problem and not strategizing on to contribute in resolving that or redressing that problem is equal to nothing. So when I identified that problem, I had to come up with the Wellness Awareness Center. And our vision, our focus is peace building and mental health. Peace building and mental health. And our focus is on posterity. Yes, our vision is to help succeeding generations to grow without violence. Most especially, and mental health challenges. Because most of our problems, if not all of our problems, most of our problems surround around the different types of violence that people are really ignorant about.
Okay.
Yes, if you say with your, look at your fat head, and I tell you that you are being violent with me, you would think that it's a joke. If I am addressing something and you hiss, I will tell you that that's violence, and you say, no, I just hissed. But that is a form of psychological violence. So there are actually so many forms of violence that people are ignorant of. And I realized, based on my research and my observation in the society, that most societal problems, they revolve around different types of violence. For each problem that you face in the society, you can trace it to a type of violence. So that is why our focus is to combat all forms of violence in the society and then raise awareness on mental health. You know, sometimes you can see somebody, the person is really like weak, and you ask, what is the problem? They say, I'm just feeling it tight. I don't even know what is disturbing me. Yes. I can ask this child, like, go and do this there. The child will not do it, and you are like, but why is it happening like this? You get up in your house, sometimes you don't even have what your children will eat for that day. You are restless. Those are mental health challenges, and people do ignore them. They do neglect them because they are unaware. So for now, the two programs that we are running are the violence-free school program, as you can see from the banners up, and a psychosocial support program.
Now talk about these two programs, the violence
free school program and the psychosocial support program.
Yeah, so just give us, brief us about those two programs.
Okay, the violence-free school program is focused for now with the secondary school milieu.
Okay.
Why? Because there you find most of our children at the stage of puberty and adolescence, and that is when you have a lot of crises. And we strongly believe that if this section of, or this age group, yes, is addressed, then in the years to come we will not have this issue of violence, because children are sometimes like fond of copying and pasting. But then we are not leaving out any age group, because the violence-free school program seeks to create awareness in the whole education family, starting like all school-based actors are involved.
So
that is
okay. Have you gone to the schools? What have you identified, and what solutions, or which are the solutions you'll be able to provide as of now?
Yes, this is 18 months of our official operation running the violence-free school program. We have been working in the Central region and in the Northwest region, and a greater part of the work has been addressing parents, school, senior education stakeholders, and to a limited extent students. Do you know why we started with parents and senior education stakeholders, the administration and teachers? It is because we want them to like be able to follow the lane as we get engaged in creating awareness within the student body. Why? Because what I have identified, like you rightly asked, is ignorance. Yes, school-based actors are totally like ignorant about the different forms of violence. I mean a majority of them. Yes, a majority of them, because after my presentations, like the responses you get at the end, the number of people that will contact you at the end of the day, you realize that people are actually not aware of the other forms of violence you get. And for you to succeed in creating awareness within the student body and getting the right impact at the end of the day and the right result, parents and school, like senior education stakeholders, are supposed to be aware. Because the moment you go and change, like try to create that change in students, in the children, they get back home and meet the same forms of violence, change will really be impossible. Yes, because the time, and there are some raw truths you can only address to parents and senior education stakeholders within their circle. You cannot address them in front of students. So we have been focused more on senior education stakeholders, and our plan this year is to really fully get engaged in awareness campaigns with students. What we have done so far is first and foremost, from January 2023, yes, we were fortunate to be part of the delegation that accompanied the regional delegate of Secondary Education Center region on her contact tour in the Center region. And we actually did presentations on this issue, problematic of violence, in all sector conferences.
Okay.
All sector conferences that she held during that tour, in all the divisions. We gave talks on violence. We are talking about divisional delegates, inspectors, right down to school heads. And then in the Northwest region, we have been able to at least address the Northwest Regional Assembly. That was a September session of 2023. We were equally able to have a presentation, during the sector conference of the Northwest Regional Delegation of Secondary Education. And recently we organized a workshop on violence prevention, mitigation, and management in the school milieu in Boyo Division, that is Fundong. And we brought together over 100 senior education stakeholders. We are able to reach out to a good number of students, over 800 students in 2 schools in the Fundong Boyo Division. That is GBHS Fundong and the GTC Fundong, GTHS Fundong, which is a pool that hosts many other schools from other communities. Yeah. And equally here in GBHS Mbangong, we have been reaching out for these 2 years to the Parents Teachers Association, educating them on violence prevention measures, management strategies. Let's talk
about the psychosocial support.
The psychosocial support program was initiated after the workshop in Boyo Division, Fundong to be precise. And then we kind of realized that with the protracted crisis in the Northwest, because Fundong has actually been really immersed in the crisis. Yeah. Yes, we realized that people live in shock, in daily shock, let me put it like that, in daily shock, and they are completely ignorant about coping strategies. Okay. How do they cope with waking up to gunshots? How do they cope with waking up to corpses lying on the road? How do they wake up to children? How do children even wake up to going to school with dresses? Mm-hmm. Those are some of the things that we identify. How do the girl child cope with getting into a sexual relationship against her will? Yeah. So those were some of the challenges that we discovered, and we kind of realized that the impact of the violence-free school program cannot really be felt with these challenges. You are preaching them how to prevent violence when they are in shock every day. Because sometimes when you receive that shock, you can respond negatively and regret after. Yes. So the main focus of the psychosocial support program is to help people build mental resilience. How do you absorb shock and respond by reason? And we kind of tilt it a little bit to women because men are naturally expected to be very strong. Mm-hmm. Yes. So we, based on that observation, which I can use as a sample to generalize what is happening in the Northwest region, women are getting frustrated and more frustrated as the days goes by. Yeah. Yes. Women are really, really going through a lot. They are frustrated and frustrated as the days goes by.
To paint that picture, you've gone to the Northwest,
yes.
You've gone to Bello,
yes.
You've gone to many of those areas.
Yes.
Really tell someone who is watching right now,
yes.
What is this woman going through? The woman, the girl child, her children. Because some are living in the bushes.
Yes. Oh, yes. Permit me to cite some few cases of the girl child really subjected to pain. You know, there is a case of a girl whose ear was chopped off.
Okay.
Yes, because she refused to get into a sexual relationship with someone.
Okay.
There is another case of a girl that was shot dead because she refused a sexual relationship. And when I spoke with some 3 girls, I went to do my hair in the salon. We sat there and I started triggering them to tell me what was happening, and she was like, "Mom, you will not understand." I casually just told her that, okay, I will be introducing a a program here which is to help women build mental resilience and be able to explore their full potentials. And she was like, how is that even going to happen? We really need it. I said, but what is the situation here? She said, each day that you go out, you are going out, you already, like, you have to put it in your mind that as you are going out like this, you can be used at any time. I don't know how the best words to put to use here, but like if you are going out, you can be assaulted. Thank you very much for that word. You can be abused at any point, at any moment. Yes. So I kind of think that the girl child is really subjected to mental health because there are a lot of things. There are many of them. Like she told me that her own salon is just in the quarter. Okay. Yes, because she is afraid to go far. For fear of what might happen to her if she moves a little bit away from home. Yeah, she said being around her family house is like, okay, if there is anything, the family can rush to help her. So they are mentally enslaved because of the rampant cases of abuse. Okay. Yes.
And then the woman, the mothers.
Well, with them,
with their young ones, their babies.
Well, the mothers have to watch their girl child being raped in front of them. There are cases where people will come in the night and tell the mother that, oh, I want to use your bed with your child. Yeah, of course, and they'll abuse the child in front of the mother. Yes. How do we cope with all of this? It's true, we might not likely be able to change the situation, but at least we can help them be able to cope with this.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and that is why we introduced the psychosocial support program.
Okay. Now, I would like us to talk about your life as a counselor. In school, as a counselor, what do you do on a daily basis? What are you doing on a daily basis?
As a school guidance counselor, you are more like a doctor,
okay,
a lawyer. Yes, as a school guidance counselor, every day you are a doctor. You are a lawyer to these children. Not that kind of doctor that will administer drugs or injection, but that kind of doctor that will take care of the child's mind. You know, children cannot really assimilate knowledge without a sound mind. That is the responsibility of the guidance counselor to ensure that the child stays in school with a sound mind. Okay. Yes, that is the responsibility of the counselor, is to ensure that children do not indulge in undesirable activities like indiscipline and the rest that you can name. So actually, basically, the counselor takes care of the academic, personal, and professional needs of the students. Their role is to guide students to be able to make informed decisions as far as their academics is concerned, their lives is concerned, and their career path is concerned.
And when you stand in front of that mirror, you look at your face. Are you happy? Are you proud that you have achieved? Maybe you've achieved what you really intended to.
Yes, I am 200% proud.
Okay.
I am 200% proud because I am living my dream. I am doing what I had desired since I was in Form 5, since I made my mistakes in Form 5. I am actually following the path, and I am not just following the path to gain fame. I am creating the desired impact. Okay. Yes, I am creating the desired impact because since 2018 that I was a counselor in GBHS Mbangong, I still have my students really connected with me for follow-up services, because we have follow-up services. Even after secondary school, we still follow up to ensure that they succeed in life. The journey of the student with the counselor ends, it never really ends, but at least right up to when that student has achieved his or her dream, attained his or her dreams. So when I look at myself in the mirror, first of all, I am now a guidance counselor. Yes. And secondly, I am partaking in driving positive change in the community, which is a dream I nursed when I was very young. I used to tell myself, I work for charity, I work for charity. I did not know how I was going to do it. And I remember when I was writing my entrance examination to Enset Kumba, I promised God that God give me, I will give back to humanity, and I'm actually doing it. So I'm proud of myself, trust me, I'm proud of myself because I see very long, successful journey of impact creation in this society.
What is that one thing you want to remember?
I'm a strong woman.
All right.
I can overcome. I can level mountains with my hands.
Okay.
Yes, and I can do everything,
Okay.
everything that my brain, my hands, and my legs can permit me to. Everything.
Okay.
Yes.
An advice to a young lady out there, an advice to your students out there, an advice to a Cameroonian who is watching you.
Stay true to your dreams.
Okay.
Yes, stay true to your dreams. Stay focused. Yes. If you have a dream, you have a vision, and you write it down, follow it up. Each day should be a day to remind you that, oh, you have an assignment, you have a task, and you must do it. Yes. Be resilient. Resilience here is the watchword. Because if you truly follow, if I had to take a step-by-step of my journey, personal life, family life, career-wise, academics, you realize that I am a product of resilience.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a product of resilience. Nothing should break you. Societal opinion should not break you.
Okay.
Yes, even your family should not break you. But one thing for sure is never go against your family, because you need their blessings at every given moment. But stay true to your vision. And believe me, there is nothing that will be impossible for you to do.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.